Hello everyone, my name is Chetan Kumar and I'm a senior data analyst. I have over 8 years of experience working on data. So welcome to Data Analytics World. If you are passionate about data analytics and you want to stay on top of the latest tools and tips, be sure to hit the subscribe button and join our growing community. In today's video, we are going to explore one of the most valuable tools in Alteryx, the data cleansing tool. Whether you are cleaning the missing data or extra spaces or inconsistent formatting, this tool is a game changer. The data cleansing tool is designed to automate the process of cleaning your raw data and ensure it's ready for analysis. It's a powerful and simple tool that can help you eliminate common data issues like missing values, unwanted characters, and inconsistent formatting. With just a few clicks, you can prepare your data to be consistent, clean, and accurate, make the entire analysis process much smoother. So let's understand what all things we can do using a data cleansing tool. Let's break down the key features of data cleansing tool. First of all, you can remove nulls. One of the most common issues you will face in dataset is missing or null values. The data cleansing tool allows you to remove these null or replace them with default values. This is helpful when you are preparing your data for analysis and need to compare dataset without any gaps. Second is trim white spaces. Leading and trailing white spaces can sneak into text fields, causing issues with the consistency. This tool automatically trims out those spaces, ensuring your text fields are clean. Third, standardized case. When working with text data, you might have name, addresses, or other fields with inconsistency or the letters are missing. With data cleansing tool, you can easily standardize the text to either uppercase or lowercase or proper case depending on your need. Sometimes when you have a particular field and the data format is very different than the expected values, like for example, if you have a standard title case and some values are marked in uppercase, so you want to standardize the entire value, you should use the standardized upper or lowercase or the title case values for the entire column or the entire data set. Now fourth, it's remove special characters. Some data sources might include unwanted characters like dashes, columns, special symbols, or punctuation marks. This tool helps you to clean those. Handle data format is a fifth thing. If you have dates in different formats, you can standardize them quickly to consistent format to make the analysis easier. So now let's look into the practical use, how we can practically implement the data cleansing tool, and I'll walk you through each step. Before we get the data cleansing tool, we need to get an input tool to clean the data. So let's get our data set. If you have not watched our previous video, please go ahead and have a look on previous video where I've explained about the input and output tool if you are new to this particular channel. And let's get a select tool. So today we are going to work on data cleansing tool. So data cleansing tool, if you have marked it under your favorite section, you will get it over here. But if it is missing, you can go ahead in the preparation tab. Data cleansing tool is a part of preparation palette. So you can go under preparation palette and you can pull the data cleansing tool from there. So data cleansing tool have multiple options to clean your data and make your data ready for analysis. The first block helps you to remove null rows and null columns. So if in your data set, for example, there are a lot of columns which are null, entire column is null or entire row is null, that's of no use. That's not adding anything to any value to our analysis. So we tend to eliminate those fields using the first block, removing rows and null columns. I'll show you with example. Next is the second block where you have all the columns that you want to clean. If you want to clean on a particular column, you can just go ahead and select that particular column. You have an option here to uncheck everything and just go ahead and select only one. Or if you want to do the cleaning on the entire data set, you can click on all and you will be able to select all. So then now let's go to the third section. Third section is remove nulls. So what it does is before it remove the null and column values entirely. Entire row is null, everything is removed. Entire column is null, everything is removed. But the third block, this deals with if it's a string field and you have few blocks in that particular string field as null, that it replaces that with a blank value. And when if you have few blocks in the numerical field as null, it will replace it with 0. So that will help you with analysis and your further calculations. Let's come to the fourth block. Fourth block helps you to clean up the leading and trailing white spaces, tabs, line breaks, and duplicate spaces, all white spaces, letters, numbers, and punctuations. And I'll show you with examples. And the fourth block, and sorry, the fifth block is to modify the case into uppercase, lowercase, or title case. If something is not standardized and you want to standardize in a particular format, you can just convert into like title case or uppercase based on your requirement. I'll show you everything with an example. Let's deep dive into data cleansing tool. So first I'll show you the raw data. Let me run this particular workflow. So this particular workflow, as you can see, this is the data set. Now, as you can see, I have set up some few example. For example, I've kept this row entirely blank. It's only the null value. There's nothing available in this particular row. Same thing I did with the column value. So I kept this as an example to show if we have such kind of data in our data set and it doesn't add any value for our analysis, we can just remove those columns. To do that, we need to go to the first block, click on null rows. As soon as we click on null rows and run this particular data set, as you can see before, we are able to see the null rows, but after that it is like removed completely. Same thing we can do it with the null column. Currently we have null column over here as we have not selected. Now if we select the null column and rerun the rerun the workflow, what it is going to do is it is going to remove the entire column. As you can see, we don't have. If you go to the select tool, we'll be able to see the test column. But if after cleaning the data, it's not there. So this is the way to clean the null rows and null column completely. Now next is replacing with blank. So if with a string field, we are replacing the value with blanks, right? So let me show you another example. Let me get another data cleansing tool. Let me select segment. For example, if we go to segment, as you can see, this is a string value, but it has null, right? We don't need these null values written everywhere because when we are doing summarizing on corporate or summarizing on home office, it's going to even calculate null, count of null. To eliminate those, what we can do is we can just go to, for example, this is segment. So we just go ahead and select segment. And what we are going to do is we are going to remove the leading and trailing white spaces or sorry, we are not removing the leading and trailing white spaces. What we are doing in here is we are replacing the string field with blank. As you can see, the string field we have replaced it with blank. Now let's do the same thing with another column, that is numerical value. For example, sales. As you can see, we have a lot of rows that is marked as null. We want to replace this null as 0, so it's easy to calculate. So if we go to our sales and just check this box replace with 0. So all the null values will be replaced with 0. As you can see here, it's null, it will be replaced with 0. As you can see, it's replaced with 0. Now let's go to the third block. Let me get another data cleansing tool. Now let's remove the tabs or duplicate spaces. For example, let's go to country. And as you can see in United States, you have an extra space, extra white space, right? That's not uniform. So to remove those extra white space, we can just go ahead and select either remove the leading and trailing white space, that is before and if there is duplicate spaces within the block, you can remove even that. So I selected both. If we click on run, sorry, I forgot to select the country. We need to just go ahead and select the country and rerun it. As you can see, now we don't have any extra white space between United States, as you can see it in your previous column. So we have cleaned this. So this is to remove the extra white space. Now let's go to the next scenario. Now, for example, if you want to remove letters, right? We want only the numbers. So let's look for a column. For example, let's take a product ID. And you don't want letters, we just need the numbers, right? We just need the numbers. We want to eliminate all the letters so we can get that ID. To get that particular field, what we can do is we can just go ahead and select product ID, and we need to just go ahead and select letters and click on run. So as soon as you click here, and let's go to product ID, and you can even select the punctuation. So as you can see, we are getting the product ID over here, but there are some punctuations, so that doesn't make any sense, as we don't need those extra punctuations. To remove that, we have another thing called punctuation. Just click on punctuation and click on run. So now we have only the product IDs. Now if we want to replace, if we need only or we need to replace only the numbers, and we want to create have only the string values. In those cases, let me show you another example. So let's see which particular column we can use it for that particular scenario. Okay, let's take order ID. Now we need only the order ID belongs to which particular country, if we need for US or it's for Canada. In those scenarios, what we can do is we can just go ahead and select on the numbers and the punctuation. If there are few punctuations, as we saw in our previous scenario, right? So even if we go to order ID, there are punctuations. So we want to remove every number and the punctuation. We just need which particular country the order belongs to. So if we click on numbers and the punctuation, and if we click on run, sorry, we need to select the order ID. So as you can see, now we have the country for which the order belongs to, whether it's for US or Canada. This is one scenario. Another scenario is if, for example, if we take customer name, and the customer name is not written properly. Some are in uppercase, some are in lowercase, some are in title case, some are not structured properly. In those cases, you can mismatch for the same customer name if it is written in uppercase, lowercase, and title case, or in an unformatted state. In those cases, you will have four different customers, but they are one. If you're summarizing on the customer name, it's only one customer. Or even if you're summarizing on country level, it's only one country. But you are because of the title case or the unstructured data, it's showing giving you four countries, right? So for to eliminate those kind of errors, what we can do is we can convert. For example, if we are taking the customer name, and we want to convert everything into uppercase. So let's take customer name, and the last block is modify case. So there's the option to select uppercase, lowercase, or title case. So if you want to make everything in the uppercase and click on run, as you can see now customer name is in capital letter, right? It's caps. Before it was in the title case, now it is uppercase. So the steps that you need to follow when you're working with data cleansing tool, I use multiple tools. You don't require these many data cleansing tool every time. We just need only one tool and you can perform the entire analysis under one. If that particular scenario falls under, if not, then you need to use multiple conditions. So the first step, removing the null values and null column that's not needed for our analysis. We use the first block. Second step, select the rows or columns where you want to perform the cleansing, you want to perform the cleaning. So to what cleansing operation you want to perform on those columns, you should select that and then select whether it is performing it by replacing the null values, or you are cleaning the unwanted characters, or you're modifying the cases. Depend on which scenario you want to pick, which scenario fills your requirement, and which scenario helps you to get a more cleaner data for analysis. You can perform those operations when you're working with data cleansing tool. So before we wrap up, here are some helpful tips and tricks for using data cleansing tool. First of all, preview your data. Always inspect your data before and after applying the tool. This will help you ensure that the right cleaning actions are being applied and that your results are as expected. Second thing, work with multiple data. When you're working with multiple data sources, if you're dealing with multiple data sets that needs to be cleaned, you can chain multiple cleansing tool and multiple steps within the workflow. For instance, you can clean one data set, then join it with another and continue applying cleansing steps. Third, combine with the formula tool. If you need more advanced cleansing beyond the standard operation, consider combining data cleansing tool with the formula tool. For example, you can create a conditional statement to clean a specific field based on the values. Fourth, don't over clean. Be cautious not to over clean your data. While it's tempting to apply all the options in the tool, sometimes over cleaning can remove useful data or discomfort your information. Apply only the steps that are necessary for your specific data set. Now let's go over some of the troubleshooting tips you can encounter while using the data cleansing tool. First of all, null values not replaced. If that is the error, if you notice that null values aren't being replaced, make sure you have selected the correct option in the configuration panel. Check if you have properly set the replacement values of the missing data. Second, unwanted characters not removed. This is the second error you may encounter. If the special characters aren't being removed, it's possible that may not match the standard ones defined in the tool. You may need to use the find and replace tool to handle some complex characters or patterns. Third, data still has inconsistent formatting after running. If your text isn't being standardized or formatted correctly, check your field types. Make sure you're working with the correct type of data before applying the cleansing step. Fourth, tool doesn't run as expected. If the tool isn't per functional as expected or it's not running properly, try checking your data for the hidden issues with extra spaces or non-printable characters that may be causing the tool to malfunction. And that is all for today's deep dive on data cleansing tool. We'll cover its key features, a real-time world use cases too going ahead. And if you have any doubts, you please leave a comment. I hope this helps you to clean up your data for analysis in an efficient way. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. For more tips and tutorials from data analytics world, have a question or tips of your own, drop them in the comment below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.